I'm going to be rebuilding the Buffalo Bills, but with the new addition of Amari Cooper. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. And off the rip here, I'm just going to be trading away the 3rd round pick for the Browns 7th. I have to get something in return to make the trade. So I'm just getting like a 2027 7th round pick just to give my 3rd to the Browns. I think it was a good move for both teams. I think Amari Cooper is, of course, worth more than a 3rd round pick. He is 30 years old, but he's still a top performer in the NFL for receivers. Tyler Bass has the number 2, so I gave Amari Cooper the number 89 here. And I think it was a good move for the Browns because they're in just cap poverty because of Deshaun Watson's terrible contract that they decided to sign. So there's that. And also Frank Gore Jr. got signed to the real squad, but I don't really care about that right now if I'm being real. Keon Coleman's going to be the number 2. This was just a good move by both sides in general. I don't think the Browns could have afforded to sign Amari Cooper anyways. So a good move there. And of course, Davante Adams to the Jets. I did a Steelers Davante Adams rebuild, but of course I got to do a Jets one now. And we got Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. I might trade Dawson Knox here just because number 2s don't do anything in Madden unless you put them in the slot, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to pay someone $14 million a year to be a backup tight end. So I'm probably going to look to trade him after this season. So that way it won't accrue any dead cap. Well, too much dead cap. But we got James Cook, of course, the baller Josh Allen. Defensively, Von Miller. He's regressing a little bit in real life, and of course in Madden here he was like a superstar X Factor in the previous Madden, believe. And also he was suspended for 4 games in real life, conveniently around the same time that the Chiefs play them. But anyways, got Rasul Douglas and Teron Johnson, very underrated defensive back duo in the NFL. Cole Bishop as well, Taylor Rapp, Mike Edwards, Matt Milano, who I believe, is he out for the year? I know he was injured for a long time, maybe coming off an ACL tear. I'll just leave him there for now. Everything else seems pretty good here, but we're going to be rebuilding the Bills. I think I'm probably going to keep Amari Cooper for about 2 seasons before he drops below an 85 overall. It's probably bound to happen because of his age, but we'll see how it goes for now, and let's just move into the midseason mark. We are 5-2 here. In real life, the Bills are currently 4-2 after the win to the Jets last night, and then the Jets are 6-1 top the division. Not realistic. Patriots are 0-7. Seems about right, but scouting national focus. For the scouting national focus, I think I'm just going to do do I do middle linebacker or interior offensive line? Let's actually prioritize the interior offensive line here. And for the players ready to negotiate, I have negative 2.4 million. All right, Rasul Douglas, Mike Edwards, MVS, Ty Johnson. Not losing too many players here. Reggie Gilliam, Kaiir Elam, and all these other guys, I'm just not really. I mean, I kind of want Rasul Douglas back for a year or 2, but negative 2.4 million because the new contract with Amari Cooper and yada 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 sucks, but it is what it is. Let's move into the playoffs. 11-6 here in the playoffs as the Jets take the division at 14-3. They're 2-4 already in real life, so not realistic, but it is what it is, coming off a loss to the Jets in Week 16, then a win to the Patriots in Week 18. For the stats and awards, Josh Allen here, baller, of course, 10th best offense in the NFL, 10th best defense, top 10 in both categories, of course, 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 104 pass rating. Great season from him overall. And then James Cook, 11 touchdowns, only 3.7 per carry, but no fumbles. Dalton Kincaid with 3 touchdowns, 900 yards. Coleman with 11 touchdowns, 900 yards. Amari Cooper really underperforming here from what he usually does. Only 2 touchdowns, 800 yards. Matt Milano, 97 tackles for a loss, 18 for Von Miller and Ed Oliver, 12 for Matt Milano, 11 for Greg Rousseau, sacks 12.5 for Von Miller, 6 for Ed Oliver, 4.5 for Greg Rousseau, and 4 for Edafanu. I don't know who that is. Interceptions, 2 for Christian Benford, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. By the way, these are updated rosters, so Davante Adams being with Aaron Rodgers is probably why they're balling right now. So anyways, can the Buffalo Bills beat the Jacksonville Jaguars to move on to the divisional round in this season? And we do not. Wow. That's actually really surprising. I highly doubt the Jaguars even make the playoffs this year, but let's move into the offseason. Oh, and the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl. Yeah, not happening this year. Not even going to make the playoffs. Jets go to the Super Bowl with Davante and Rodgers, but of course they don't get the job done. Typical Rodgers move. But Dak Prescott, sure, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Sure, dude. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Buffalo Bills. In the AFC East, a bunch of Jets players retire, and then Calais Campbell, Raheem Mostert, and Von Miller, who just got his 12.5 sacks, also retires. And for the upgrades on the team, Keon Coleman goes to Superstar Development. He definitely did not come with Superstar Development. Yeah, he earns it for Offensive Rookie of the Year, even though it didn't show it in the yearly recap. But I'll take it for sure. Everyone else here looks the same. Probably going to trade Dawson Knox now, especially since we're in negative cap room. And, of course, Von Miller's gone. Cole Bishop only has star development. No other upgrades that I can see on the defense. And now we have $21 million to spend because Von Miller's contract is gone. So Rasul Douglas, I do want back for at least another year. Even though he's only an 82 overall, it's still solid. Kair Elam, the problem with him, I mean, I don't want to accept that option. Definitely not going to, but I may or may not resign him based on his interest in the next season. Mike Edwards, MVS, all these other extras. Is that DeMar Hamlin? No, I'm not re-signing DeMar Hamlin. He's already 27. Get out of here, bud. Reggie Gilliam, all these other players, just not interested in. Let's move into free agency. Now, what can we get for Dawson Knox? The pay difference between him and Dalton Kincaid is nuts. Really next to nothing from what I can see. Apparently the Broncos want him and the Colts want him. So is there any team that actually has like a decent interest in him? Yes, there is a team. Carolina Panthers want him? Oh man, I can't wait to end this guy's career. And a third-round pick. Okay, so now we're getting the Panthers' third-round pick, which is probably better than our third-round pick, considering how bad the Panthers are in real life and in simulation. So we basically traded away Amari Cooper for Dawson Knox, and we moved up in the third round because, of course, we traded away Amari Cooper. Well, we got Amari Cooper for a third-round pick, if that makes sense. But for now, let's move into the draft. And the number 1 pick is the Rams. Oh, the Panthers have pick number 4, so our third-round pick is going to be pretty good. Ooh, Julius Bartell here out of Alabama. Taylor Rapp isn't bad, but this guy, 6 foot, 224 run support out of Bama, of course. Great speed, solid acceleration, good strength, A block shedding, A hit power, A tackle, B pursuit. Only C zone coverage, but he's a run support archetype, of course. Physicals, we're in a 4.35 at his pro day. For a safety, that's really good. I'm going to pull the trigger on Julius Bartell here out of Alabama. Ranked 53 in the class. Picked him at 22. Normal dev, really. This guy looks so much better than what he's actually projected to be. But I'm going to start him over Taylor Rapp, see how he does. Wow, this left guard is a first-round talent, projected 3rd to 4th rounder. I'm just going to pull the trigger. I'm not even going to look at anything. He looks good. Ranked 17, picked him at 54. Hidden development. That's what you like to see. A's and B's across the board. Oh, and then right here, this guy, 1st to 2nd round talent, 3rd to 4th rounder. A's across the board. Great in general, other than F run block. Just going to pick him anyways. I know Connor McGovern definitely isn't bad. Sorry, I'm like choking up right here. I know he's definitely not bad, but this guy, he has hidden development. He'll start over. I'm probably going to trade Connor McGovern now. Yeah, he takes up $9 million in cap room, so this will help us if we can move him. Okay, now we're trading away Connor McGovern to the Broncos for a 4th and 2 6th-round picks in this year's draft. I'm sure the AI will just do it. Wow, in the 4th round, picking up middle linebacker Greg Walden out of LSU, 6'3", 231, elite speed with 90 speed, 91 acceleration, hidden development, A awareness, B block shedding, a bunch of other Bs across the board. He's ranked at 29 in the class, picked him at 114. Steal of a pick. Now, this is the team after the draft. It's going to start Raymond and Dockett immediately for the future of this offensive line, and Amari Cooper is down from an 88 to an 85 overall, so maybe he won't be in the next season for us. Who knows? I'll evaluate it at the end of the year. 84 overall team. We were an 82 last year. Walden is immediately going to start. He's a 75 overall without the boost for a 4th round pick. That's amazing. I need a new edge rusher. Gregory Rousseau is nice, but still, AJ Epineza will not be enough. And then, of course, Teron Johnson and Rasul Douglas both regressing. I'm going to re-sign Christian Benford. I am going to need someone else there. And then Bartell is only a 73 without the boost, but we're going to start him. Hopefully he can ball out for us. So Benford is in the slot. Keon Coleman, I'd rather have Keon Coleman in the slot than Amari Cooper. Everything else looks pretty good here. Going to start James Cook. And honestly, even though Matt Milano is the better guy, I kind of want Walden to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Well, actually, I would rather have my strong safety do it. So Matt Milano is going to be the starter. Everything else looks good. I don't know why AJ Epineza is not there for the rush defensive end, but I guess Solomon is, so it's fine with me. 84 overall team. Let's move into the midseason mark. And we are 5-2 once again at the midseason mark. This time we're top of the division, as the Jets are also 5-2, and we have a receiver breakout challenge. And it's Khalil Shakir. You didn't really see it there. I kind of skipped through it, but Khalil Shakir has a breakout. And if I'm being honest, I don't care. Don't really plan on re-signing him anyways. So the scouting national focus. What do I want to do this season? Maybe defensive end, so I'll just do outside linebacker, then move them down. And we have $76 million to spend after moving Dawson Knox and Connor McGovern. Gregory Rousseau wants $25 million a year. I'm going to give it to him. 4-year contract. He resigns. James Cook, I do want back as well. He's not crazy in simulation, but I guess he doesn't accept my contract. That's a little annoying. Then Kair Elam, he's young. He has star development. He would be good depth regardless. It's a cheap contract, only $3 million a year. I'll do him for 4 years. Bust of a pick, really, but either way, he's not bad in Madden just because of his age and his development. Rasul Douglas is going to regress a little bit more. Christian Benford's 24. He's going to be the highest defensive back on our team after Teron Johnson leaves. And Rasul Douglas, he's probably going to regress this season. So Christian Benford, I'm going to give him a 4-year contract. He's going to re-sign with the team. Even if he isn't the starter, he'll be good depth. Khalil Shakir, he's only 25. I thought this dude was like 27, 28. I'm not going to lie. Then we have Terrell Bernard. He just doesn't have an interest along with Khalil Shakir. AJ Epineza, I don't really want. Harrison Bryant, I don't really need. All these other guys just don't really want. Dalton Kincaid, I'll accept his option. But for now, let's move in to the playoffs. We are 13-4 here. We got the 2 seed in our conference. Of course, the Chiefs take the 1 seed. It sucks, but at least we get home field advantage this time around here to face the 10-7 Indianapolis Colts. For the stats and awards, Josh Allen went a little bit down from last year, but still a great season. 15th best offense, 3rd best defense. You love to see it. Almost 4,000 yards, 39 touchdowns, less interceptions, better pass rating. He actually had a better year than last year. Other than his yards, I think he has like 100 less yards, but more touchdowns, less interceptions, better pass rating, better year in general. James Cook with 1 fumble, 7 touchdowns, only 3.9 per carry. Not really worth $8 million a year, but still, he's in like an 85 overall now. Keon Coleman balling out here. I forgot to look at Khalil Shakir's breakout challenge. I always do that. But Keon Coleman, 13 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. I hope he gets X factor from this. Really good season. Amari Cooper, 10 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 800 yards almost, and 4 touchdowns. Then Khalil Shakir eating up 9 touchdowns. Matt Milano with 100 tackles. Julius Bartell here, the rookie, with 3 interceptions, 1.5 sack, a tackle for a loss, and 95 total tackles. That's a really good rookie year for our new strong safety. But tackles for a loss, 21 for Greg Rousseau, 15 for Ed Oliver, 7 for Dorian Williams. Sacks, 16.5 for Greg Rousseau, 9.5 for Ed Oliver. I hope Greg Rousseau, I'm going to give him superstar development if the AI doesn't. This is a really good season, especially with 81 tackles. And then interceptions, 4 for Rasul Douglas. And then safeties on the team, 1 for Ed Oliver. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Rasul Douglas. We have home field advantage. Can we beat the Indianapolis Colts to move on to the divisional round here instead of losing in the wild card like last year? No, we lose to the Colts in the wild card. Let's move into the offseason. And the Chargers win their first Super Bowl in history. Who did they lose to? They're 2-time AFC champions. Who did they play in the Super Bowl against? I don't remember. Either way, someone will look it up and fact check me in the comments. 28-23, Diane Henley, middle linebacker for the Chargers, wins the Super Bowl MVP instead of Justin Herbert. That's surprising. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP. Jim Harbaugh wins Coach of the Year, and there are no awards here for the Bills. Unfortunate. Really wanted my strong safety to get Defensive Rookie of the Year. In the AFC East, Aaron Rodgers, Tyron Smith, Jordan Poyer, and Teron Armstead all retire. These are all really big for the division, so we're only going to improve from here. For the team upgrades, Keon Coleman does go to Superstar X Factor. You'd love to see it. Any other upgrades, both of our offensive linemen are just star development. That's fine with me. And then Ed Oliver and Greg Rousseau go to superstar development. And Bartell goes from normal to superstar development in his first year. Even though he didn't come with the development, he was a baller. I knew right away. He looks really, really good. Progression history, superstar development upgrade. I guess he got a star development upgrade earlier in the year. But either way, that dude's a baller. And for the rest of the defense, Walden is a star development. That's fine with me. He's going to replace Terrell Bernard. I need another defensive back. Maybe going to sign Rasul Douglas for another year, but Teron Johnson, I don't necessarily know. But I would need someone else, and I also need a secondary defensive tackle and an edge rusher as well. We have a lot of money to spend in free agency, so for now, let's just move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, James Cook, he didn't really do well, but I'm just going to have to pay him a player-friendly deal here. It's almost $10 million a year. Stuttered so bad on that, but either way, he's going to get re-signed. Dalton Kincaid, I'm going to accept that option. Rasul Douglas, he's a 79 overall. It's not a bad contract. I just think I can find someone better in free agency to replace him. Khalil Shakir just has no interest with being with the team. Same thing with Terrell Bernard. Everyone else here is just an extra, so for now, I'm just going to move into free agency. After free agency, I set out to find a better defensive back, and I did in Greg Newsome. He's 26 years old, 88 overall. Star development, of course. He's going to be really, really good for us, replacing Teron Johnson and Rasul Douglas. DJ Reader on a 1-year contract just as a filler player, and Ryan Wright on a long-term special teams deal. Going off the rip, speed rusher here. David Devine out of Virginia, 6'4", 258, speed rusher, elite jumping, elite acceleration, great speed, skipped the combine and the pro day. What a baller, dude. F-zone coverage doesn't matter. He's a baller. I don't care if his projection's round 1 and he's a first to second rounder. This guy looks like an absolute baller. We're going to take him. ranked 36, picked him at 24, hidden development. He's going to replace AJ Epineza. If you're skipping the combine and the pro day, you just know you're that good, dude. You love to see it. And in round number 2, picking up a middle linebacker that I'm going to move to left outside linebacker so that way Matt Milano can move back over to right outside linebacker. A lot of explaining, but Will Miller out of Oklahoma, definitely an Oklahoma type name. 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 87 agility, 6 foot, 230, hidden development, B's across the board. He looks good. Now I'm looking for some defensive tackles, and as always, you just go to physicals, scroll over, hit strength. Oh, elites, already know. 334, 6'4" out of Oklahoma State. The rivals of the middle linebacker that I just picked ran a 4.26 Tom Brady speed at 334 pounds. Elite strength, A tackle, A play rec. Jose Locke. Let's see what you got here. B+ pick and normal development, but 95 strength is still nuts for a defensive tackle. He'll be in rotation. Let's see if I can snipe a defensive back here. Just want to, elite acceleration here already. Good agility on this one. Elite acceleration. Kirk Carlsley out of Michigan, 5'10", 204. Elite acceleration, good speed. Ran a 4.44. And then B man coverage, B tackle. Not bad. 4th round pick. Let's give him a shot here. B+ pick and normal development. Just wanted to see if I could snipe some guys here, but not a bad at rotation or depth player. And for the draft recap, David Devine is a 74, Will Miller's a 71, Jose Locke's a 72, and Kirk is a 72. So all really good players. Then after that, I just didn't draft. So even though some of them had normal development, they were still good players overall. Now, this is the team after the draft. Amari Cooper's down to an 83 overall without the boost. Keon Coleman's progressing. May need a wide receiver 3. We have Jake Bobo here, the Seahawks legend. You love to see it. Curtis Samuel is going to be the number 3. Yeah, I definitely need a new receiver in the next season. 85 overall team. And then Devine here, we're going to move to defensive end. And that's extremely annoying. They purposely moved Matt Milano back to left outside linebacker, so I'm going to move him back to right outside linebacker, which is what he plays. He's down to an 81 overall without the boost too, so we may move on from him in the next season. But for the rest of the defense, looking really nice. Greg Newsome's the number 1, Benford, and then of course Teron Johnson, specialist-wise. Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, yeah, I'm fine with that. Move Amari Cooper down. I want him to play as the number 1. Devine's going to get a shot here, and then Matt Milano, maybe his final year with the team. If I can't find a replacement, I'll just sign him for another year. But let's see how the rookie does. 85 overall team, year number 3. Let's move into the midseason mark. 6-1 here as we are top of the division, number 1 seed in the conference right now as well. You love to see here to face the 2-4 New England Patriots. And for the scouting national focus, I guess I'm just going to do middle linebacker here. And we have $58 million to spend here. Osiris Torrance doesn't want to be here. He wants to have no state income tax. Yeah, New York is rough for that, but we want to keep him here. He's a long-term guard for us, and he resigns on the very player-friendly deal. Amari Cooper wants to stay here, surprisingly. He wants to be a Super Bowl favorite. That's nice to see. Team has a franchise QB. He's moderate on the no state income tax, but it depends how far he regresses. Matt Milano, same deal. Curtis Samuel, I just don't want. Dorian Williams, I'm not really that interested in either. Taylor Rapp can walk. DJ Reader, he's probably going to regress too far. I have a lot of old players on my team. Hopefully I can win the Super Bowl this year, but let's move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 13-4. We're now the 3 seed in the conference. Chiefs are the 2 seed. Bengals are the 1 seed at 15-2. Here to face the 10-7 Ravens. That's a really hard first opponent in the wild card round. But stats and awards, let's see what we have here. Josh Allen, baller. That could be league MVP here. Josh Allen, 3rd for league MVP behind Mahomes and Burrow in the division as well in the conference. 3rd in passing yards, 4th in passing touchdowns, 2nd best offense in the NFL, 5th best defense. You love to see it. 4,700 yards, 2 yards shy of it. 41 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 120 pass rating. Amazing year from Josh Allen. James Cook, no fumbles this year, 11 touchdowns. Again, only 3.8 per carry. I'm paying him around $10 million a year. This really isn't good, especially for like an 87 overall. But it is what it is. I already signed him. Keon Coleman's balling, dude. 16 touchdowns, 1,600 yards, 104 receptions. Curtis Samuel is outperforming Amari Cooper, which I don't like, but I guess it is what it is. Dalton Kincaid, 837 yards and 5 touchdowns as well here. Defensively, Greg Walden here, even though Matt Milano's the sub linebacker, outperforms everyone in tackles by a long margin, 103 tackles. Tackles for a loss, 15 for Ed Oliver. Oliver, 14 for David Devine, 12 for Gregory Rousseau, sacks 11 for Gregory Rousseau, 11.5 I mean, Ed Oliver 8.5, and David Devine with also 8.5. David Devine, really good season, 58 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks. He's just a baller. We knew it ever since he skipped the combine. Julius Bartell, the safety, 4 interceptions, balling 2, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Cole Bishop. I really like what we have with the team. I've really liked all the prospects that we've drafted so far. We've gotten pretty lucky with it. But can we please win our first playoff win of the rebuild here against the Ravens? And we do. Here to face the 9-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. We've lost them in year number 1. Let's see if we can beat them in the divisional round. And we do. Here to face the 10-7 Miami Dolphins, a division rival, to see if we can go on to the Super Bowl to potentially get the Bills their first ever Super Bowl win. Here we are versus the Dolphins. They're going to start out with 3. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. 14-3 now against the Dolphins. Good stuff. 21-3. Absolute domination. And we get ball at half. 24-3. Defense holding mega strong against this strong Dolphins offense with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I assume they're still there. 31-10. Blowout against the Dolphins. And your Buffalo Bills, who are 0-4 in the Super Bowl, get another shot at it here as we could get the Bills their first ever Super Bowl win. Here to face the 16-1 Green Bay Packers. How good is Jordan Love for them to be 16-1? He is a 98 overall superstar development quarterback with a bunch of boost, of course. He looks like a baller. For the adjust lineup, Josh Allen up to a 99 overall with the boost. Keon Coleman up to a 97 with the boost. Amari Cooper up to an 86 with the boost. A lot of boosted players just for the morale here. 88 overall team. Ed Oliver's an X factor. Greg Rousseau stays the same, surprisingly. But Devine here has superstar development. Did he earn it or did he come with it? He earned it. He had star development only. Devine's just a baller. We already knew this. And Will Miller here, he also gets superstar development. He probably got it. He probably didn't come with it. Actually, no. He just came with it. What a baller pick. And I got to say, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, we're probably not going to win it at all within the next couple years because I'm going to lose DJ Reader. He's going to regress. I'm probably going to lose Matt Milano. Amari Cooper is going to regress a lot too. So I think it's now or nothing, and we got to beat the 16-1 Packers to give the Bills, again, their first ever Super Bowl win. I'll just keep repeating myself. Here we are against the Packers. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to start out with 7. Good stuff. We get ball at half at court, of course. 14-7 against the Packers. 14-14 now. They're going to finally take their first lead of the game, 21-17 at half. We open up half with a touchdown, capitalizing off the Packers at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of the half. 35-17. I think we're pulling away here, 38-24, and that will do it. I will say it again. Your Buffalo Bills get their first ever Super Bowl win in history as they went 0-4 and lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, as many people know, in the 90s. I don't know exactly when, but hey, Amari Cooper gets a Super Bowl ring, and this will be a successful rebuild. I don't know if we can do it in the next season, though. A lot of our players are going to leave the team or regress. A lot of the older players, Matt Milano, DJ Reader, and Amari Cooper, but we will see. But as of right now, we do have a successful rebuild with Amari Cooper, and let's see what the stats were for Josh Allen. Yeah, he's going to get Super Bowl MVP. 129 pass rating, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 344 yards. Absolutely. And yes, your Super Bowl MVP is Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes wins 3 league MVPs in a row in this simulation, and he wins the Offensive Player of the Year. Can't even give it to Josh Allen. But David Devine wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. In the AFC East, CJ Mosley and Devontae Adams both retire. And we've already seen the team upgrade, so we're going to move straight into this. Amari Cooper, he's down to an 80 overall, but why not? Only $7 million for 1 more year. Let's keep him on the team. Matt Milano, he'll be nice depth, really. He's a 77 overall. I'm going to need to replace him, and he wants to play for a new team. Curtis Samuel is going to walk. All these other guys are going to walk along with TJ Reader. I'm going to try and get Matt Milano back for another year in free agency, but I have $42 million to spend. After free agency, I got Rashee Rice, so now Amari Cooper is going to be the wide receiver 3. He's a 90 overall superstar X Factor. Then I got Matt Milano back on 1-year deal. Only have $810K left, but it is what it is. Let's move into the draft. Kelvin Virgil here out of Mississippi State, 6'3", 242 here. Physicals, great speed, good acceleration, and what is that? Great agility as well. A, awareness, A, hit power, B, player act, B, man coverage, B, block shedding. I'm going to pick him at pick 32 here at the end of the first round. True rank was 81, picked him at 32, but hidden development, he'll play depth for us, and eventually in the Madden hyper unrealistic future will replace Matt Milano, even though the rebuild will be done after this year. Poorly phrased that, but you know what I mean. Roman Harold, 6'5", 302 out of Penn State. Great speed, great strength, great acceleration, A player, only C tackle. His skills aren't really crazy, but the athleticism is there at 6'5" at Penn State. So Roman Harold, let's see what you got here. Ranked 77 in the class, hidden development, 91 strength, 76 speed, 83 acceleration. He looks pretty good. He will replace DJ Reader. John Manning here, 344 out of West Virginia, 6'3" run stopper, elite strength, solid speed, A play rec, B tackle, B awareness. Let's see what he has. Picking him in the 3rd round. He's a day 3 prospect though. 88 value, C pick, normal development, but 96 strength. He will play in rotation. And after the draft, Virgil is a 72, Harold is a 71, Manning's a 71, Harold's a 72, my bad. Then the rest of these extras I didn't pick. Now, this is the team after the offseason. Honestly, it got better with Rashee Rice. This is an elite front here. You love to see it. Defensively, we look really good. Matt Milano, even though we have regressed in some places, I'm going to start Harold. Locke is here. Manning got a lot of depth at defensive tackle. Nice DBs as well. Nice secondary. Bartell was a W pick. Divine was a W pick. Already up to an 84 after 1 season. Miller's a superstar development. This team looks absolutely baller. And I'm going to put, let's put Amari Cooper in the slot since he's the number 3 here. We're going to move up Harold. And then let's move up Miller. Let's see how he does there. Everything else looks good. 88 overall team, 4th and final year. Let's see if we can win back-to-back Super Bowls. What if the Bills go from a 0-4 losing streak on the Super Bowl to suddenly winning 4 Super Bowls in a row? You know how cool that would be if they did that? But let's see if we can even make the playoffs here. I'm sure we will. And we are 10-7 here, 90 overall team here to face the 90 overall 13-4 Kansas City Chiefs. 2nd division, we got a 7 seed. That's crazy. Steelers 14-3. There's no way. What, you got Kenny Pickett back on your team? How are you balling this good? I just have to know for myself. Justin Fields is apparently a baller now. Star development, 89 overall. But for the stats and awards, Josh Allen, total baller, of course. Not going to be league MVP, but he's going to be close to it. He's at 4th for league MVP, 7th in passing yards, 5th in passing touchdowns, 5th best offense in the NFL. 22nd defense makes no sense. We improved in every way, but Josh Allen, 4,300 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 112 pass rating. Not as good as last year, but still good season. No fumble, 10 touchdowns, and James Cook failed to even get 4.0 per carry average throughout this entire rebuild. He's just not good in simulation. Amari Cooper, 9 touchdowns, 1,200 yards almost. This is the best season we've got from him at his lowest overall because we put him in the slot. Keon Coleman, almost 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Rashee Rice, 12 touchdowns, 850 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 3 touchdowns, 700 yards. Greg Walden with 106 tackles for a loss, 17 for Ed Oliver, 14 for Greg Rousseau, 11 for David Devine, sacks, 12 for Greg Rousseau, and then 11.5 for Ed Oliver. David Devine gets 10 sacks. He's been balling. All of our defensive linemen are just really good. And then interceptions, 3 for Julius Bartell and Greg Newsome. Safeties on the team is going to be 1 for Ed Oliver and Will Miller, and defensive touchdowns is 0. And can we beat the Buffalo Bills kryptonite, the Kansas City Chiefs? Literally everyone's kryptonite, the Kansas City Chiefs. We do. Here to face the 14-3 Justin Fields Pittsburgh Steelers. We're better than them in every way, offense, defense, overall, of course, and we lose to them. That's just how it works in Madden. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. This was a successful rebuild, getting Amari Cooper and the Buffalo Bills their first Super Bowl ring. You love to see it. Built a really, really good team, 90 overall team. Defensively, we're looking really, really good as well. So apart from that, guys, once again, I thank you all for watching. Let me know which team you want me to rebuild next. I'll probably do the Jets with the Devontae Adams, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.